So let's make a start. So thank you so much for joining, and for those of you that are joining us on the recording, thank you very much for watching. I am Rachel Sene, and I am the Regional Manager for East Asia at Falmouth University, and I'm also delighted to be joined by my colleague Gosha.
Hello everyone, I am Gosha and I'm an international officer at Falmouth, but I also used to study there. So if you have any questions about my own study experience as an international student, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm happy to help with any other questions that you may have. Looking forward to speaking with you.
Okay, brilliant. So just to let you know how it's going to work, I'm going to give a quick presentation. I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible. I do have a bit of the habit of rambling on a bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording and then we can answer questions. So people that are here in the room now, if you want to ask questions of us directly once I've finished recording, very welcome to. Or if any questions come to you while I'm presenting, you can just write them in the chat and then we'll answer them at the end. Okay, so let's get started. So this is what we're going to cover today. Might skip some parts, but this is in general what we're going to try and get through today. So the first question is why create? So I'm assuming that if you're joining us, then maybe you've already answered this question for yourself because you're interested in creating. But I think it's really good to think sort of big picture about why you want to study a creative subject. Oh gosh, there seems to be a real point at the PowerPoint there. It just sort of skips over that bit. Okay, there we go. So one of the biggest worries in a lot of industries is that technology will render a lot of jobs obsolete, that our jobs will be pointless because they can be done by robots. But one of the real benefits of creativity is that it cannot be automated. I think the last 12 months have proven to us how important it is for us to have the tools to creatively solve problems. And it's invaluable not only for your own job prospects, but also for impacting the world that we live in. I'm so sorry why it keeps skipping to that part. Okay, so creative career prospects in the UK. So there are a huge range of creative careers in the UK, and studying in the UK gives you access not only to find out more about those careers, but also to widen your own professional network in those careers. One thing to note that I'm sure you've heard of already is something called the graduate route, which has been introduced by the UK government. Really, really important for you because it means that for international students, you can stay in the UK for 2 years after graduating from a bachelor or a master's degree, enabling you to gain a lot more job experience. And the UK is especially attractive to anyone who's looking for a creative job opportunity. And here is why. So I won't go through all of this, and this data was taken from the website run by the Creative Industries Council, which is a joint organisation run between the creative industries and the government. As I said, I won't go through all of it, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. So on the left graphic, 111.7 billion a year, or 12.7 million an hour, equates to the creative industries growing 5 times faster than the average of any other part of the economy in 2018. On the right graphic, when we look at that growth over time between 2010 and 2018, we can see that in 8 years, the creative industries has grown in value by over 60%. That's almost twice the rate of anything else. And finally, in the center graphic, you can see that IT, software and games are the largest portion of the sector, followed by film and TV and then advertising, all courses that are offered at Falmouth, I should say. And we are, of course, aware that the pandemic is changing the job market for the creative industries. However, it's also a huge opportunity for artists to come up with creative solutions and putting their ideas on different platforms. And we're already seeing a huge growth in digital creativity. It's also worth bearing in mind that by the time that you graduate, the market will have changed again, and fingers crossed we'll be back on track, or perhaps even better than it was in 2018. Oh my word, I'm so sorry. There we go. Okay, so as much as we all want to be able to make enough money to live comfortably from our careers, that shouldn't be our only motivator when looking at a future career. There are over 250,000 small creative businesses in the UK, and a lot of people who work in the creative industries either set up their own business or work freelance or are self-employed. A survey of small creative business owners from a few years ago showed that 88% felt they contributed to a worthwhile industry, and 87% felt more fulfilled when they wake up in the morning. And ultimately, that's why we're here, right? Because creating is your passion and because it makes you feel fulfilled. And if I can give one piece of advice from a wizened 30-year-old, it's that you spend more time at your job than anywhere else in your adult life. And so it is so important to do something that makes you feel fulfilled. Okay, so we've spoken about why you want to create. So who are we and why should you come and learn about creativity with us? This was the slide that it kept wanting to go to, so I can finally do this slide. Falmouth University was established as a School of Art in 1902, which means we have over 120 years of experience in the creative arts. We officially became a university in 2012, and we are now the second largest creative university in the UK with around 5,000 students. We are a state university, and also something to let your parents know, we are one of the safest universities in England and Wales. We're actually voted the second safest university in England and Wales. Falmouth University has two campuses, so we've got the Falmouth campus and the Penryn campus. Both are located around 15 to 20-minute bus ride away from each other, and Falmouth campus is actually only a 5-minute walk from the beach. Each campus is dedicated to different subject areas, so don't worry, you won't have to flip between campuses to do different workshops. Of course, if you're doing a project and with a collaboration with another student, or you want to access other facilities, then you can go between the campuses. And as I said, it's only about a 15 or 20-minute ride. And so a little bit about our location. So you can see in the middle picture there where we are. So we are in the southwest of England in a place called Cornwall. Falmouth has a population of approximately 25,000 people, so that should give you a sense of kind of how small it is. And obviously with a student population of around 5,000, it's a very studenty town. It's also a tourist destination due to the beautiful landscapes, which you can see a little bit there, and subtropical gardens, and we are regularly voted one of the best places to live in the southwest. Despite its small size, Falmouth is very developed with loads of cafes and pubs and restaurants, shops, fitness facilities and other forms of entertainment. Also has a few clubs and lots of festivals in the summer. I'm sure you can imagine this is a great place to have a festival. Not to mention loads of sports and water activities such as surfing, paddleboarding and diving. And to get to Falmouth, you can take a direct 1-hour flight from London to Newquay Airport, and then it's about a 40-minute drive from there. Or you can choose other options such as getting a train. It's about a 5-hour train journey from London. Just to let you know, every year our university offers an airport collection service for all first-year international students. And during this service, our staff and student ambassadors will meet new international students, usually at Heathrow Airport in London or the Newquay Airport, and everyone travels to Falmouth together. If you do come and study with us, I would hugely recommend it because it's a really great way to just kind of feel like you're part of Falmouth from the moment that you arrive, get to meet other students on the way, and get a real sort of a sense of being part of Falmouth on the journey. The other thing to mention is that life in Falmouth is very affordable. It's much more affordable than some bigger cities in the UK and overseas. And actually Cornwall is one of the cheapest counties to live in the UK. The other thing to mention is that part-time jobs are very easy to find, and Falmouth, as I said, is a very touristy place, lots of hotels, bars and cafes, and also the university employs students on a part-time basis. Okay, so let's start talking about the university then. So these are the 9 departments that we offer. So you can see there, out of the 9, 8 of them are creative. So we have 8 creative departments, and then we have our School of Entrepreneurship. Just move along. So I won't go through everything on all of these slides, but you can see some of the programs that we have on offer in each department. So here we've got the Academy of Music and Theatre Arts, School of Entrepreneurship, and the Falmouth School of Art. So this is where you would do your illustration program. Then we have the Fashion and Textiles Institute, our Games Academy, and the Institute of Photography. And then finally, we have our School of Architecture, Design and Interiors, and that's where you would do sustainable product design. We have our School of Communications and the School of Film and Television. So just some general information here, that you can see those QR codes. So if you wanted to scan those, that should give you a little bit more information about our programs. Most of our bachelors are taught on campus, but we do offer 3 online bachelor degrees and 1 online top-up degree. Most undergraduate degrees are 3 years long, but we have a few 2 to 4 year long options, and the 4 year long option includes a sandwich year or a 1 year industry placement. Okay, so let's start talking about facilities. So one of the benefits of studying a degree anywhere, but I think particularly at Falmouth University, is the access to facilities that you have. So you have access to professional standard facilities. One thing to note is that students have access to all of the facilities, so not only the ones in your own department. There's lots and lots of opportunities for you to experiment with different facilities from other programs. So just a few examples of some of the facilities that we have. So the School of Art has large dedicated studios, printmaking facilities, with milling and rapid prototyping machines. Our School of Film and Television have 5 production studios, including a full lighting rig. Academy of Music and Theatre Arts has a fully licensed live performance venue. The reason I'm mentioning that in particular is because we will have touring artists, bands, dance companies that will come and perform at Amata, that's what we call it, and so you can also benefit from going and seeing performances there. Got our Institute of Photography, is some of the best photography studios in Europe. And then our Fashion and Textiles Institute offers access to ultrasound, seam welding, laser cutters, dye labs, knitting machines, and much more. Thanks to having a small student cohort, it means that the facilities are a lot more accessible, and they are accessible most of the time. In addition, students can borrow from a range of professional equipment for free from departmental stores, or you can purchase art materials at a reduced student price in our on-campus art shops. If there's something that you can't access yourself, then the technical staff and academic team will help you to order those materials to the university. So this is really, really useful, particularly for fine art, or maybe for some of the product design programs. If you're working with sort of heavier materials like metal or wood, you have a whole team of people that can help you to order it to campus for you. Okay, and so let's talk a bit about staff and teaching. So at Falmouth University, academics and most technicians have worked as industry professionals or are still practitioners involved in various industry projects to this day. And so you really get the benefit of learning from these experts, because not only can they share their advice and their experience, but you can also benefit from their very wide professional network. If you want to have a look at what our lecturers are up to, I recommend having a look on our website. But our lecturers are still sort of leading in their particular industry. So for one example, one of our film lecturers recently won a BAFTA in outstanding debut for one of their films. So that's just an example of the kind of caliber of people that you have teaching at our university. As well as that, your learning isn't only limited to on-campus staff. So every year the university invites tons of industry professionals to our campuses for guest lecturers. We also have lots and lots of study trips and exhibitions, and this is a really great opportunity for you to find out about different career paths, get feedback on your work, or even secure an internship, placement or job. And so teaching at Falmouth University is incredibly practical. There are no theory exams at all, and students are assessed on practical and research-based projects. Each course is structured to mirror the real-life industry, so it means that you work in a very similar way or the same way to what you would do in a professional environment. So this means that you'll come up with your own ideas for projects and develop these in teams or individually while using top quality equipment and software, all while receiving continuous feedback and support from staff. All of this enables you to develop the skills, expertise and professional portfolio to secure a job or to start your own company after graduating. The other thing to mention for anyone interested in illustration is that Falmouth University students own their own intellectual property of their projects. So the university does not claim any copyright at all for any of the work. And talking about employability, one thing that we're really proud of at Falmouth University is that we are actually top for students owning or starting their own business or being freelance. So for students, so a study was done of all the higher education institutions in the UK, and Falmouth University students were listed as the most likely to start or own their own business or be freelance. In terms of employability, we have a new service in place called RealWorks, and through this, students can access career support and advice from day one of their studies, right throughout graduation and beyond. And you'll have access to loads of different tools, resources, and e-learning to help you to realise your potential and secure your career. You can build your CV, take practice interviews, access weekly workshops. There's loads and loads of resources that you can use. The other thing is that all students are encouraged and supported to complete a placement during your studies. Some degrees have mandatory placements, while it's optional for others, and all of that information is on our website. Okay, I'm going to speed through the next part because I want to get to questions. So let's talk about applications. So to apply at Falmouth University, you can fill out a form on UCAS via this link. And if you have more than 5 choices or don't wish to apply via UCAS, you can apply directly with us. But we would recommend getting an education agent to help you fill out the direct application form, as it can be a bit complex. We work with loads of different education agents, and you can see my contact details on the screen there. I'll have it at the end, so if you've got any questions about applications, then we can go through that then. And just really quickly, these are our entry requirements, but again, maybe we can go through those in a bit more detail in a second. Okay, so just to finish up then, I think what we just really want to emphasise is that joining Falmouth University means joining a really vibrant creative community, and being part of a creative institution that's dedicated to creativity can be quite different to being part of a department within a wider university. As you saw earlier, the focus of Falmouth University is on creative careers, and all students become part of a creative community of incredible artists, thinkers, entrepreneurs, marketers, and programmers, and even technology specialists. And so just really quickly then, so here's just a little bit of information about international fees and funding, which I'll keep there, but again, we can go through that sort of in more detail in a second. So just quickly to highlight some of the support that you can receive, we offer a range of support to our international students, which includes mental health and academic support, free research materials in our library, a wellbeing app, free equipment to hire in every department, and free term time English language classes. We also have a student mentor scheme and loads more. And all our international graduates are entitled to a Falmouth University alumni discount. So when you graduate from your undergraduate degree at Falmouth University, if you then decide that you want to stay on with us and do a postgraduate degree, you receive a 15% tuition fee discount for the master's degree on campus or online. So that's a good thing to think about. Okay, so I think that is it for my presentation. So there's loads of places there that you can find out more. Take a look on our website. You can chat with a student. We have an option for you to speak with current students directly. Follow us on Instagram and on our Facebook page. I've also put my contact details there. And one thing to flag is that we have our virtual open day on the 7th of April. So do take a look on our website. I think it's on the front page of our website to have a look there and sign up for that, and you can find out a lot more.